Where do you even begin to write a book if it's your first one? Maybe you've typed chapter 1 and you're looking at the rest of the page going, what's next? Don't worry, I've got you covered in this video. I wrote a lot of books that were very resoundingly rejected before I sold my first one. I really struggled to figure this out, and I'm going to give you the secrets that I wished I knew back when I first started writing. You're going to watch a lot of videos, read a lot of books, like Writing Compelling Fiction, and you may get to the end and think, okay, so should I start with plot first or characters? Because this book advises that, this one advises this. Which way do I start? I remember exactly how daunting it was when I started my first book. I actually had no idea what to write or how to write a book. I had this pretty useless English degree because I studied a lot of Dickens and Joyce and Shakespeare in college. Did not help me write commercial fiction whatsoever because their structure is not at all what today's reader is looking for. Here's the thing, you don't know until you start writing. So just start writing and see if you start with action or you start with a character. Just let your brain go. And you're kind of thinking about your story. Are you thinking about it in terms of action scenes, or are you thinking about it in terms of the character? Because that will usually give you a clue which you would prefer to start with. It's okay to totally change your mind later and come back and go, you know what? I'm more of a plotter and less of a character development author, or vice versa. This is your book. You write your book the way that you need to write your book. But you're probably saying, what about my characters? Do I know them well enough? Should I write them? How do I get to know them? Should I do all these exercises, fill out all these workbooks? Just hold on and wait a second. You don't have to. You could, if that really makes you happy to do a lot of planning. I caution you that you can get caught up in the planning and be planning for a lot longer than you're writing. And that can be a great procrastination tool. Trust me, I have been there. I am head of the class of procrastination. You don't want that to be you. So at a certain point, you've got to stop planning and just start writing and let the characters come to life on the page for you. Meeting a new character is a lot like meeting a new neighbor. I just let them speak for a chapter or two and just figure out who they are. It's sort of like going to a party and talking to somebody I don't know. Then I go back and start figuring out all the other things. That may not work for you. You may be more of I need a plan, I need to know this, I need to know that. That's totally okay. We all write differently. We all have different habits. We all have different ways that we approach a book. Write what works for you. Use the method that works best for you. Maybe you're a typewriter person. Maybe you're a handwriting person. Maybe you're a computer writing person. I find that writing by hand gives me a totally different perspective than writing on the computer. I've also done dictation, found that that doesn't work for me at all. Your method is your method, and you won't know which one works for you until you try them all. If you really like writing in a coffee shop, let's say, because you love the environment and the perceived peer pressure of other people around you working, then go do that. If you like sitting under a tree in the shade of the backyard and writing on it in a really great notebook, go do that. There are no rules, okay? And that brings me to my last one. Ignore the rules. I know I talk about a lot of rules on this channel. Here's the thing. I'm giving you them as guidelines. They are not set in concrete. You must do this in order to have a book. I don't think I say you must do this very often in videos because you're going to figure out what works for you. I have a friend who does a 90-page outline before she starts her books. For me, that would totally kill my creativity. I don't want to know that much. I want to be surprised as I write the book. So I'm a little bit more of a writing by the seat of my pants person. I do some of the plotting that I talk about in these videos. A lot of it happens in the back of my head, and then I just sort of let the book flow. Maybe you're somewhere in the middle. Maybe you really like to have somewhat of a plan and then start writing, or maybe you just like to write and then fix it afterwards. The only way you'll know, and this is what I say a lot of times, is to write. You can't figure out how you want to write or what's your best writing method without writing. You can't figure out how you want to write or what kind of book you want to write by just reading about it or planning it. You've got to actually write. There will be nothing at all that you can learn, read about, watch, any of that will substitute for actually getting your hands on the keyboard or your pen on the paper. Nothing. You have to write in order to figure out what kind of book you want to write, what kind of chapter you want to write. So let's bring that back to how you start your first chapter. Just write it. And you may be saying, I still don't know what to write. That's okay. Write whatever comes to mind. Maybe you start with the classic, It Was a Dark and Stormy Night, or start with Once Upon a Time. You write until the words start feeling natural and the words start flowing. And that will begin to take shape as a story. I guarantee it, because you have a natural storytelling ability within you. You just need to kind of coax it to the surface and it will create a book for you.